Now, let's see if I have people on YouTube and they come back. All right, so we'll go ahead and start. As everybody just kind of trickles back in, welcome everyone. This is what, the second or third welcome to God's Prepared Warrior Roundtable Live tonight. Here is everybody coming in saying, Fernando, we hear you. 5x5, I heard that. Thank you guys. Who's here? Rule 2IC, thank you guys. Thank you, brother, for being here. Shelly's in the house. Salt Miss is in the house. JS Genesis Designs, I think that's your name. Thank you for being here. Ohio Valley Prepping, awesome. Thank you guys for being in here. Scott Hammer, I see you. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. Awesome. Okay, so there's a lot of you that are new here today, and a lot of you over here on TikTok that are new. And I am just so thankful. I'm always going to tell you this every time we go live, because it is you guys who make this channel. I will not ever pat myself on the back, because I'm like you guys. I may be a talking head on here on YouTube, but I'm with you guys. I'm learning. So as I learn, you're going to learn, right? Or you're going to teach me, and I'm going to learn from you. That's me. So welcome to God's Prepared Warrior channel, and I am Fernando, and I'm so glad that you guys are here tonight. So as we start here, I always kick off the roundtable tonight by talking about the channel news. It's a segment I called the channel news, and excuse the noise in the background. We are actually under thunderstorm warning right now, and there's the thunder is rolling in, and there is possible hail and tornadic event that could happen here. So I just want you guys to know that's happening right now, and it's pretty crazy. So welcome to the channel, and let's look at the channel news. So I am excited because this week alone we have grown a lot. So I'm excited. So YouTube, we are at 677 subscribers. Guys, you guys have come in clutch and subscribed to the channel, and I will tell you, thank you guys for doing that. We're up 7 new subscribers this week on YouTube. So share our channel. We want to get that out there because we want people to be ready for what is coming ahead, right? You guys on TikTok are killing it. We're sitting at 3,351 subscribers. We're actually up 22 subscribers just this week, so that's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing the channel over there. And Facebook, the Facebook page, not my personal Facebook page, but the Facebook God's Prepared Warrior Facebook page, we are sitting at 155 subscribers. We're up 1 subscriber. Hey, I'll take it, right? The Facebook community page, God's Prepared Warrior community page, we are actually sitting still at 19 subscribers there. On Instagram came in clutch this week. So we're sitting at, and then actually right before I went live, 1 person subscribed. So I went ahead and added them. We're sitting at 451 subscribers on Instagram, which gives us a whopping 25 new subscribers for this week. On X, we are up 7 subscribers, and we are now getting closer to that 1,000 mark. I'm excited. For so long we've been stuck in there in X, and so we're up to 993 subscribers. There are people following our page, and so we are super excited about that. So that's the channel news. I want to share something with you guys. Rule, thank you for saying that, because that's what I'm about to share next. So I've been talking to Rule kind of just in the chats on YouTube, and I want you guys to follow him. His YouTube channel is Rule 2IC, And I love Rule's channel. Him and I are almost alike in everything, I think, Rule. And so I'm excited because he's encouraged me about community. And so I've been, talking on my channel or in my lives about creating community, right? You guys have heard me say, not only do I want to create God's Prepared Warrior community where I am, but I want to create God's Prepared Warrior in the community where you are. This is not just for Fernando, where Fernando lives. All of you guys that have subscribed with me, I want to be able to help you create that that tribe, that group where you live. So I'm working really hard on that, and so hopefully soon we'll begin to unveil that later on. Okay. Rule 2IC says that 2IC means second in command because God comes first. That's awesome. Yeah. Matthew 6:33. All right. I like that. So because of Rule, this was last weekend or weekend before. Yeah, weekend before. He went on a thing called Bug Out Weekend where he lives, and he actually did his videos leading up to Bug Out Weekend, and he showed what he was taking, all those things. I was sitting at the edge of my seat, brother, watching your videos, and so he even recorded and uploaded this weekend some of his Bug Out Weekend videos of what he captured there. And so it really encouraged me, and he told me to reach out to Vision Preparedness, and I actually came across his page today. Yeah, it was today, and was on his live, and he encouraged me to create Bug Out Weekend here in Texas. And so I have it's set in my head that Bug Out Weekend is going to be here in Texas next year. Okay. Now, Texas is a whole different than any other place. And so to camp out during the summer here is to literally pitch a tent on the sun. And so we're going to do Bug Out Camp here in Texas in November of 2026. So I have a year and a little bit more to sit down with Rule and Vision Preparedness and to talk about and plan Bug Out Weekend. And a few of Vision Preparedness team said that they would help me do that. And so I want all of you guys to keep that in prayer, because it's Fernando stepping out from the camera and into the community. And so we're going to be planning that. There's going to be a lot of planning that goes into that. And, if you don't know me, I will take a notepad, and I will run through that notepad, just planning that whole thing. So I'm looking at the week of Thanksgiving 2026, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I'm usually off that whole weekend, and I don't want to miss, and I always go camping that weekend. So this November, I'm going to go camping with my family. And so 2026, I want to open this to all of you guys. So keep that in prayer, because I really, really am excited about that. And, I know I already have a list. I already have a running list because I actually tested this out on Facebook, and I threw it out to the community. How many of you would come out to Bug Out Weekend? And so far, I just posted that this weekend. So far, I have 7 people who say, Fernando, I will be there. People here in Texas. And so they're not close to me. They're in Texas. And remember, Texas is huge. And so they said they would be there. So I'm excited. That's just those people that I've reached out to. So it doesn't include all of you, right? All of you here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and over here on TikTok. So yeah, because I live in Texas, we got to go big, right? Um, let's see. Vision seems JS Genesis says Vision seems like a humble and caring person. He is. I just in the few little bit that I've got to know him. If Rule says if you host it, they will come. Yes, that is true. I mean, just talking about it, people have already said, Fernando, count me in, keep me in the loop, and so that's pretty neat. So, let's see. Ohio Valley says you have to make sure you have huge amounts of coffee. All right, so let me tell you guys, because a lot of you are new here. My wife and I and my partner have a coffee business, and so we have a coffee trailer that we pull around on Saturdays. So we do our 9 to 5 during the week, and then we on Saturday we sell coffee out of our coffee trailer. And so you know, we have that business. So I just really haven't pushed it out yet because I want to get a handle on this thing, because this is actually becoming really big, and I want to make sure that I'm able to do everything right and according to how God wants this done as far as God's prepared warrior. And so, our whole goal here is to share and talk about prepping, and to not only talk about that, but to bring in the spiritual preparedness part into prepping. And so, that's what I do. So, Ohio boys can put away some coffee. Well, everywhere I go, look, let me show you, because we just got back. We went to go house sit for our daughter, and everywhere I go, I carry my cook set, because I ain't going nowhere without my coffee. So that goes with me wherever I go. So so yeah, trust me, I got a plethora of coffee. If there's anything I'm entering, poop hits the fan, it's gonna be coffee. So yeah. Um, Thanks, guys. Thank you for sharing that. So keep that in prayer. Bug out weekend here in Texas, 2026. So yeah, we're gonna start talking about that. Make sure you go to God's Prepared Warrior Facebook page, like the Facebook page, and then go to the group page. It's God's Prepared Warrior community in groups on Facebook, because that's where we're gonna start planning that thing. And join the community there. It's God's Prepared Warrior community on the group page in Facebook. Let's see. Do you roast your own coffee? Not yet. Not yet. I don't. So I have to order mine already roasted, and it comes to me fresh when I order it. So we are slowly getting to that point. So I'm excited, because that's what I want to do. I've done that in life, in the retail business, and I learned that when I was young, and it's never left. And the Lord just one day, through my wife and some friends, said, Fernando, you should do your own coffee business, because you know it and you love it. And so we did it, and that's what we're doing. So hopefully I will soon start putting our coffees out there so that you guys could try them and stuff. So you're gonna start seeing them in my videos, especially now when I go camping. All my camping videos. If you haven't seen my camping videos, go back to my YouTube page, look at my camping videos, and I always feature me making coffee in there somewhere. I even did this is a funny one. You got to go and look for the, it's called Shenanigans in the Deer Stand. And I'm actually in the deer stand making coffee. And on that year that I went hunting, I came home with 2 doughs, and while I'm in the deer stand, I'm making coffee. So it's a pretty funny video. You can go check that out. Uh, it's pretty fun. All right, so let's look in the news. Duck Dynasty's Phil Robinson dies at 79. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but let's keep them in prayer, the family in prayer. It's the article said that Phil had multiple health issues, including Alzheimer's, and so um, um, I really didn't know he was going through Alzheimer's. But yeah, it's you're stuck to the show, and they don't show you none of that, right? Maybe things that they go through, whatever. And so when I saw that, it kind of took me by surprise. So yeah, so he passed away. Corey Robertson stated in a post. He said, "We celebrate today that our father, husband, and grandfather Phil Robertson is now with the Lord, and Phil leaves a legacy of a love for God." And so let's keep this family in prayer. Thank you guys for the likes over here on YouTube. I mean on TikTok, and of course you guys on YouTube. So let's keep this family in prayer. Some more things in the news. It says there was a 11 injured in a Little River boat party. There was 11 people that were hurt. They were having a boat party and there was a shooting. 11 people were injured. They're in the hospital. Some of them, I think, had life-threatening injuries, and so let's keep these people in prayer. This was in Horry County, South Carolina, and somebody was it's a group of people partying, and a gun was introduced. So a fight ensued, and 11 people were hurt. So let's keep those families in prayer that are going through that. I saw this in the news, and I thought, man, this really hurts. Australia fast tracks a machete ban after shopping center attack. If you didn't hear about this, there was a shopping center in Melbourne Shopping Center. There was a machete attack there, and so Australia has decided to ban machetes. And so you can't get a machete. Imagine, that's Australia. It's the bush. And you can't own a machete. Man, yeah. It's they're just taking stuff away from us. I mean, we're not even talking guns here. What about all the knife stabbings that have been happening, that have been occurring? Are we gonna stop using knives? That's just nuts. That's in the news. So yeah, so Australia is letting that go. I don't know if you guys. This is the next one. I don't know if you guys seen. There's a video of Macron, and he's getting off a plane, and they open the door, and there's a female arm that comes out, slaps him in the face, and when he notices that the door's open and the cameras are rolling, he kind of waves like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" and leaves, and then comes back, and him and his wife are coming down the ladder or the stairs, and he tries to hold her hand, and she doesn't hold his hand. But the article says that they were just playing around, but it doesn't show that. So yeah, that's weird. So you guys might want to check that video out if you haven't seen it. I just thought I'd mention it. I thought it was funny when I saw it. So yeah, so check that out. So tonight we're talking about a very important topic. As the thunder rolls in, I want us to, and the National Service throws me an alert on my phone for flash flooding. Okay, there, it's gone. So yeah, so we're in the middle of it over here, which is actually pretty awesome because of the topic that I want to talk about tonight, right? Tonight I want to talk about being prepared for anything. All right, I want you guys to understand this. You might say, Fernando, how can we be prepared for anything? Can I even be prepared for anything? The answer to that is yes, we can be prepared for anything, right? We talk about specific scenarios. There's a lot of us preppers on YouTube, and we talk about things, right? YouTube for me, I call it YouTube University. And so, I'm learning because I'm new to prepping since 2020. I haven't been prepping like some of these guys, like Pinball Preparedness, all of these guys who've been doing it for a long time now, right? I'm new since 2020, and I didn't even know I was a prepper until I met a few of the people that I follow, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know this was a thing. Other than what TV tried to show us through the Discovery Channel, right? About the preppers that look crazy on there. They made them look crazy. So I am learning, and I'm seeing a lot of things, right? There's a lot of talk about specific scenarios, right? Natural disasters, economic collapse, power outages, right? Food shortages, and a lot of preppers will cling to one. There's one that I know he's prepping for solar flare. There's another one that I know that's prepping, and he's prepping because of what do you call it? I can't think of the word now. It just left my brain. When all of your electronics don't work, guys, throw that in there, in the in the chat. I forgot the word. And he's prepping for that thing, right? Solar flares, and there's somebody who's prepping for two things, and I'm looking at all of these, and I'm like, well, what if we were to prepare for everything? Is that even possible? And I will tell you that it is, right? What if I told you that instead of prepping for everything, we can shift our mindset and our focus on being ready for anything? That's what I want to talk about tonight. That's what I want to talk about, because you have the mindset of, I'm prepping for this one thing, right? This person has studied poop hitting the fan so long that their belief is economic collapse, or their belief is atomic bomb is going to drop, right? All of that. Someone else will say a natural disaster is going to take us out. But what if I told you that instead of prepping for everything, we can shift our mindset and we can focus on being ready for anything, right? Because the truth is this: we can know what is coming if we're vigilant, right? And you're always going to hear that from me. Stay vigilant, stay prepared. Why? Because if you're vigilant, you're prepared for what? You're prepared for anything, right? And that's important, because the truth is, we can't know the future. You don't know when the proverbial poop hits the fan is. You don't know it. We can't know that future. but we can walk in wisdom and we can walk in readiness. How is that, Fernando? How can we walk in wisdom and how can we walk in readiness? Because you're going to be vigilant and you're going to be prepared, right? And most importantly, we can be spiritually anchored no matter what comes. So let's talk about the practical side of being ready, right? Let's start with the practical. Being prepared for anything means that you're thinking beyond one scenario, right? There are many things, and I can tell you, turn on your news, and you're going to see many things. You're going to see wars. You're going to see weather-related events. Guys, if this goes down, it's because of all this storm that is now over our head. The lights just kind of flickered. So if I go out, I'll see you next Monday. Just saying. So, you know, we have to think beyond one scenario, right? You know, maybe you're stocked up for a blackout that I'm probably about to have. But what if it's a heat wave, right? What if it's a solar flare that happens, right? What if it's an EMP? That's what I was thinking about earlier. What if it's an EMP, right? Maybe you have to build a bug out bag, right? Because you're gonna bug out. But do you know your name? Can you guys hear me? Let's see, there's a lag time, so we just got to cross that lag time. No buffering. Okay, so I am running. Yes, okay. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. You're 5x5. Okay, so let me get... I told you the lights are going to go out. So I just realized something. And see, like I say, I'm learning just like you guys. You know, I didn't even think about connecting my solar power generator to my Wi-Fi router so that it doesn't go out in a thunderstorm. So if it goes out again, just might lose all y'all. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. So we're talking about the practical side of being ready, right? And about being ready for anything goes beyond one scenario, right? You know, preparedness isn't about fear, and I talk a lot about that on my channel because the Bible tells us that God does not give us the spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. All right? And so we do not prepare out of fear. As God's prepared warriors, we prepare out of responsibility because that's what we are supposed to do, right? It's about awareness, it's about skills, and it's about resilience, right? So if we're going to talk about basics, right? Food is important, right? Water is important. You need those things. You can't go long without water. And so you need to be storing water. You're going to need first aid kits. You guys need that. And you need to learn how to apply bandages for deep wounds. You need to learn the different bandages for deep cuts, right? There are some things that you can use to bring cuts together. Now, I would encourage you to learn how to sew somebody up. I mean, because in any kind of scenario, you're going to need to learn that on the quick, right? Especially if you're in a weather related event and on the fly. Paramedics, fire department crews are everywhere, right? Something happens where you are, it's good for you to know that, right? So learn, don't just keep a first aid kit, learn about all of its components, learn about what bandages to use for different types of wounds, right? And go beyond the generic first aid kit and buy things like Israeli bandages, stop the bleed, maybe take a course on how to stop the bleed, right? That's important. Do those things. You need communication tools. You need to have and I happen to have them out. You need to have your communications, right? I know you have a cell phone. I know that we're in a good time and cell phones work. What if the cell phones go down, right? They've been testing our system. So I will tell you guys that you guys need to have a communication plan, right? This is my communication plan. I have a video of it in the link in the previous live link. So check this out. Make sure you learn about this because it's important for you to communicate with your family. You're going to need those tools, right? So create your communication plan. You need communication tools. You need a ham radio. You need a GMRS radio. Remember, those things require a license. A GMRS radio license is easy to obtain. You just go through the FCC website to get that. And for the ham license, you need to take a test. And there's 3 levels that you can do that test on for your ham license. And I would encourage you to get all of it, do all of it, right? Don't just stop at one, because each one gives you a different set of frequencies that you're able to reach out to. And so the further you can get, the better, right? Upgrade your equipment. Don't just rely on a handheld. I bought my first UV5R and was upset because I couldn't use it. I only could listen to it, right? Because I don't have a license yet. And so I went to the next level, got me a GMRS handheld, paid for my license. I am a GMRS operator. I am part of a GMRS group in my area. And we communicate on that. And so, I didn't stop there. I bought me a mobile unit that I've created, and it's part of my kit here. It lives in this bag right here. It is really small. The radio is really small, but it reaches out further than my handheld does. So continue to build on top of that foundation that you start, right? So have communication tools, have self-defense training, right? I worked in the prison system. I have self-defense training, and I am weapons qualified through the state of Texas for my boomsticks. And so take those trainings. Make sure that you're able to defend yourself, right? I would encourage you to have community connections. Start with your neighbor. Well, start with your family, right? Communicate with your family. Talk to them about prepping. Don't beat them in the head with it. Talk to them about prepping. Encourage them. Bring them on board, right? I actually did a live a couple of weeks ago talking about how do you bring a family member who doesn't want anything to do with prepping onto your level of prepping. How do you do that? Go check that video out or that live stream out. So then get to know your neighbors, right? I always say I'm not a mechanic. I need somebody who is a mechanic to be on my team, to be in the know, right? Because I don't know. I mean, I know how to do basic things, but I don't know how to do those really hard things. So, we need community. Let me fix that. And then you need gardening skills. Learn gardening skills, right? A knowledge of how to live off grid. This is why I want to do Bug Out Weekend here in Texas, because I want to teach people how to not rely on your house. What if you get stranded? How do you survive outside? What if you're stuck in your car? Do you have a car kit? What is a car kit? What do you keep in it? I want to teach people all of those things. So that's the practical, right? What's the spiritual side? We're almost done. Um, let's talk about the spiritual side of readiness. We want to shift gears here. Because if your pantry is full, right? If you're a prepper, you know what I'm talking about. If your pantry is full, but your heart is empty, you're not truly prepared. The Bible tells us in 1 Peter 5:8, it says, "Be alert, of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." Also in Luke 12:35, it says, "Be dressed ready for service and keep your lamps burning." Being God's prepared warriors means that we're walking close with Jesus. We're walking close with God. It means that having your spiritual armor on at all times. It means that your faith is rooted and your heart is open to serve others. That's what that means. Because the truth is this: when the world falls apart, and we're seeing it right now, it's falling apart. There's a war here, there's a war there, there's a war over there, there's a potential war here. I mean, we're seeing our world just fall apart. But when it truly falls apart, we have to look to the light. And we are called to be the light. Each and every one of you. Warriors, you are the light of the world. We're not just stockpiling food. We are stockpiling hope as well. We're not just building gardens. We're planting seeds of faith. We're not just preparing for the worst. We're preparing to be used by God when things get really hard. That's what God's prepared warriors are. I know it gets overwhelming. I know life gets overwhelming. I know it can feel like, we'll never be done preparing. Trust me, I know. But this is not about having it all figured out either, right? It's about waking up every day and asking, Lord, how can I be ready today? Physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because we prepare with God's wisdom. We don't prepare with our own wisdom, right? We're not walking in fear. We're walking in faith, right? You don't have to have a bunker. I don't have a bunker. But you need a Bible. I will tell you that much. You don't need 10 years of freeze-dried food. I mean, where would you keep that much food? But you do need to know how to help your neighbor. Right? You need to know that. You need to be able to share the gift that God has given you, whatever that gift is. You don't need every scenario mapped out, but you do need to trust the one who already knows the future. So, warriors, I want to challenge you tonight. Don't just prepare for one event. Be ready for anything. That's the most important part that I want to share with you guys tonight. Is be ready for anything, right? Keep growing. Keep learning. Don't ever stop learning. I love to learn. I hope that the day that I turn 80, that I am still learning. That I am still trying to learn something new. I always tell the people that I teach how to use these radios. when I first got my first one, I didn't know how to use it. All I knew how to do was turn it on.
Channel mode.
That's all I knew. And so it wasn't until I began to learn it that I began to know it. And so you should, as God's prepared warrior, keep growing, keep learning, and keep trusting the Lord to walk you through that process. Why? Because the world might shake. And it's shaking already. But as God's prepared warriors, we stand firm on God's word. Guys, we have reached the hour mark, and I just wanted to encourage you guys today to be ready for anything. Don't just prepare for one thing or maybe two things, but be ready for anything, right? You know, we're going through this thunderstorm right now. I think it's already past us. I think maybe it was just really loud and, you know, flickered my lights for a little bit. But I already knew this storm was coming. I have my comms bag here that has a flashlight on it. I have my get home bag that's right here that has a flashlight on it. I have my sling bag here with me that has a flashlight on it. I'm ready in case the lights go out. Over here to the side of me, I have my DIY lantern that I made, oil lantern that I made. All those links are in the in my YouTube. You need to go check those out. It's easy. Don't stop learning, guys. Keep learning. You know, make your own fire starters. I did. I don't have to rely on fire starters because I make them. Somebody told me that I should sell them, but I don't know. It's homemade. It's easy to make. Just follow my recipe on YouTube. You'll see it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel over here on YouTube. Make sure that you are sharing over here on TikTok. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we had tonight. The storm was just crazy, doing things even before we were starting. So thank you guys. God bless you. Pray for a bug out weekend next year. I'm excited about that. And guys, stay vigilant, stay prepared, because when you're ready for anything, you're ready. God bless you guys. I'm praying for all of you.